Hey everyone, this is Sean, aka Kensuketa here. Just want to give a slight warning where we do talk about some heavy themes regarding Gundam Gquuuuuux and Gundam in general that could be kind of triggering. So just an FYI, we do mention SA, nudity, and a full discussion regarding teenage fan service. Alright, so Gquuuuuux episode 5. I am starting to think this is going to turn into a Kill 'em All series.
Uh, no. None of the main characters have died. You're fine. That's not how that works.
Yet,
You can't kill them off by episode 4, Sean. We barely know their names.
right now they're killing off all the old, characters who should have
Which
died to
I
begin with. They're killing them off
argue.
anyway.
All the ones who were
Okay,
already
so
dead.
if we're gonna go that fast, I have a question for you. Why is it that the first, like, two or three fights, they show them explicitly only knocking the heads off, and now they are just straight murdering everyone? What happened? Why is
Right?
every episode now a murder? You know what I think? Personal opinion.
I,
I think that the writers of this one are explicitly drawing a hard line between this, the influence it gets from the original show and series, and saying, this is not that show, and literally killing everything from the war as a way of wiping the slate and being like, that is not our show. Those are not our characters. The war is over. These are soldiers who should have been gone and just could not adapt to new life. So we're wiping them out because they're barely alive
hmm,
anyway. Arguably, Witch could never actually survived after her Mav died. She was just a vessel for vengeance and half-heartedly lived on afterwards. Then she died, and they show her specifically and explicitly having a moment of peace as she died a new type, because she was one.
Yeah.
Then they show the two of them die as soldiers who couldn't adapt to their new lives and just couldn't handle it and were just essentially rolling the dice as one last score because they don't know how to live one without the member of their team who died, who they do pay lip service to
He's
and
not
say,
dead.
yeah, they do. They said if only.
He's not dead. They said he quit. He literally quit and was living his own life.
he's the mayor, dude.
What?
Yeah, he
Oh, that
literally
was
quit and
Mash.
was dating. It was married to a. Yeah, Mash quit
Yeah,
and was married to a supermodel and was running another side.
Oh,
yeah.
well.
I
Yeah,
looked it up afterwards just so I wanted a full clarification. And yeah, the only two people who were
Dell
considered,
and Ortega.
Black Tri-Stars still were the ones who were in this episode fighting. The other one legit
So
became
that
mayor.
Yeah,
only further illustrates my exact point. He adapted to the new life, the new normal, not being in the military, not fighting all the time, and the two of them couldn't give it up and couldn't figure out how to live, so they fought until they died. And killing them gives them that rest and finishes it for them because they couldn't survive without it. That's what I'm going to argue
I
narratively the
I mean,
show
I
is saying.
agree.
I don't know that that is
oh,
Yeah,
explicitly the thoughts in the writer's head, but if you told me we weren't doing that, you're doing a really good job of illustrating it without meaning to. And knowing that the guy who made this, his favorite show was 0080, which is all about one of the Gundam
ooh,
shows that better illustrates
oh,
it
oh.
better illustrates the actual price of war. The best shows for that, in my opinion, are 0080, 8th MS Team, certain episodes of 0083, specifically the one where he finds the Xeon pilot with one arm. That episode specifically illustrate the price of war in a way that Tomino clearly always wanted, but has trouble communicating in many of his shows. Gundam Wing does it fucking terribly,
well,
but
he was able to do that in original Gundam because
yes,
with playing Generation Genesis, there's a lot of death that just happens and relatively quickly too, and it's like
yeah,
it still hits pretty hard.
yeah. There's an
Like I
entire
completely
episode
forgot.
dedicated to like the death of not death, but like the episode where Amuro's mom hates him and just disowns him. His father
Mm-hmm.
becomes a like damaged mentally. That's Tomino's message is that war sucks.
I don't think I remember that. I don't think
Oh
they
yeah.
included that in the movies.
Probably
It's not in the
not, but there is
movies.
an entire episode of the anime where Amuro goes to Earth, finds a refugee camp essentially for like people who are hurt in battle,
His
hides
mom turns him
himself
into Xeon. His
almost.
mother turns him into. Yes, she tries to.
She tries to turn her son in because she hates that he's a soldier without, acknowledging that her son nearly died this entire time and is not gung ho a soldier. He was drafted because he had to, because it was that or die. She doesn't even listen to his argument. She starts with, you're a soldier, you're a monster, I hate you, walks away.
Mm-hmm.
Amuro is still a teenager, thinks his dad is dead at this point, And his
Mm-hmm.
mother, the only other relative he has just told him to fuck off. And he is,
Wow.
yeah, the original Gundam tortures Amuro for the entire show. He doesn't become remotely balanced until the show is over and the war ends.
Man,
His
so
life
I've only
sucks.
this is a bit of a secret that I'm now unleashing to you guys.
Oh,
I've only ever watched the movies because
you
back in the
lose so
day,
much context.
Oh yeah.
yeah, but also back in the day, it had a little bit of a tumultuous airing thing, and not only that, but I was also grounded a lot when I
Hmm.
was a kid,
Mm.
so I was never
I
able to
mean,
watch the
you know.
series in full.
No,
But
Hmm.
I was able to purchase the DVDs for the movies back when they were
uh,
released by Bandai, and unfortunately they weren't dubbed. But
they still aren't
I
dubbed.
was able to watch all those movies over and over, and so granted, yeah, obviously the movies cut out a lot,
Yeah.
but it still gets the gist of everything that you
Hmm.
need,
Yeah.
and that was my primary basis of watching the original series.
Yeah, you miss out on the. There's an episode where it is because it's a kids show. They don't.
Yeah, no, the original really isn't.
Well, okay. I'm going off. I'm talking about the
In
episode where.
1979, it was a children's show because back
I would
then.
debate that none of them are kid shows except for maybe G Gundam.
No,
No,
I'm
no, no.
talking about
The
it
Build
was
Fighters episodes, those
the
are all for
Mobile
kids.
Suit Gundam. There is an
Those don't
episode.
exist.
There,
Jesus.
yeah, there is an episode where literally you are watching it. Amuro comes in after three Xeon soldiers have already killed a girl.
Jesus.
I don't
It's
remember that
not
one.
very. It was literally when Amuro leaves the white base and takes the Gundam with him when they're on
Also, I'm gonna have
Earth.
to bleep what you just said.
Oh yeah, sorry,
Fair.
sorry.
Well, no, we can say the
Sorry.
word. It's up to Sean if he want what he wants to flag the video as or whatever.
Yeah, I just don't want certain things being said out loud.
I am sorry about that one. But
Yeah,
yes,
like I can call you a, and I can also say fuck you, but I refuse to say anything sexual allegation wise or anything like that.
I do apologize. That one, I shouldn't use that. It's clear that the Xeon soldiers did something to a young girl, and they are celebrating in her home after whatever happened. And literally, the dialogue leading up to it, even in the Japanese original audio, you hear them saying, "Oh, it was fun having our way with this little Earth girl," and Amuro is literally trying to find food because he's starving, and that's
Did
when
they
he.
include that in the dub too, or no?
In the dub it's not as clear, but it is clear
Because they
that
tried to scrub it a little.
yeah, they try to
That
scrub it
would
a
make
little,
sense
but
because it was
it's
originally Bandai.
yeah.
Yep.
So
So it's clear that they scrubbed it a little, but they still left like the pretext of them killing the people who own the home and those soldiers taking
Celebrating
advantage of
in the
everything.
dead people's house.
Yeah,
good lord.
but yes,
All right,
there's been
Yeah,
a lot.
that's
Tomino's
something that's gonna be fun.
Tomino's whole message generally, when it doesn't always get across well, but generally his message is war is bad. I think he's strongest communicating that when he basically just shows like characters being damaged and tortured and dealt with terribly, not as a form of like cathartic, awful Saw the movie torture porn, but like this is what war is. War is bad. I don't want people doing it. So he made multiple shows communicating, don't do that. Some of the best moments in
I
Gundam to
mean,
me
that
will
explains
always be that.
Ideon. So
Yeah, no, Idion is that entirely. I've read a few descriptions of it, and yeah, that's again that he's communicating it. He doesn't. It doesn't always come across in Gundam because not all the shows are good at that. But generally, it's war bad is the basis, and when he's involved, he tries to get that across.
remember, you now have access to Ideon. So whenever you
Okay.
want, you can watch that.
Okay, and I do also feel like that Gcux is literally prepping everyone with if you're happy you're seeing someone from the original UC storyline on screen,
They're gonna
prepare
die.
that they could die. Like they
Oh no, they're
could
going
and may
to. Like
die.
none of the things are surviving from the war if they are still. So far, it's if they're still soldiers. I don't know how hardcore about it they'll be, and if they'll start like offing them off screen and just like mentioning they died. But
Oh,
yeah,
But I do
that's
like
right.
this
I
episode.
remember. It was a good episode, but there's
yeah.
something I want to talk about real quick.
Is
Okay.
it the third leg?
What do you mean?
The Doms literally have a third leg growing out of their back. It was
Yeah.
a cool design
Oh
choice.
no, that was really fucking cool.
Right?
That was
Wasn't that
great
fucking awesome?
design.
Like, first off,
That was
That's a
first
awesome.
great
off, they called
design.
them Rickdoms, so they called
Yep.
them the space version, and that makes sense because in space
Mhm.
you don't necessarily have to care as much about aerodynamics. You do have to care about weight distribution, which is why the leg
And that
folds
would
up
help.
as a backpack, and it's
Mhm.
awkward, but it works because the boosters still fire. But when they turn themselves into like jets with the 3 points, oh my god, that's so fucking good. And it
Dude,
reinforces the whole idea
everything
of Black TriStar. It makes it
Mhm.
so much more them. God, it's so cool.
Mhm.
everything about the mechanical aspects of any suit that we see in this particular show is
I
phenomenal.
love this.
They exceed
I know it's
everything by like
divisive. There's a
10
lot of
points.
debate about between fans because these are very extreme redesigns, but holy shit, I think they're awesome.
I
I
mean,
love
when
weird
people
shit, but
started saying, "Is
oh,
that a Gelgoog or is that a Jim?"
I mean, okay,
Uh,
that was
that
fine
was.
because
Mhm.
calling that a Gelgoog was weird. It wasn't a Gelgoog. That was clearly a
It wasn't a
GM
Gelgoog.
with
It
three
was
I
eyes.
clearly
know,
a custom
I
GM.
know.
It's
It was
just a
clearly
GM
a
with
power
extra shit.
GM from 0083.
To make it
It
a
was
Gelgoog,
It,
clearly
it
the
has
power
to have
GM
bell
from
bottoms. That's
0083.
what a Gelgoog has, is bell bottoms.
I know,
And it has
but
to have the
hey,
fin. It has to have the
Oh,
fin.
and a
I'm
giant
sorry. I
has to have
need
a
the
giant
fin.
skirt, giant fat skirt
Yes.
yeah,
and
but remember
big
that
boots.
I harped on this the last time. They overtook all the Fetty
I
operations,
know,
so at that
I know
point,
that it makes
literally
sense.
everything is just
I
Federation
know that
shit.
it makes sense. I'm just saying if you're gonna bother to use the word and just like it has nothing to do with the other ones, like okay, fine, but it's
Well,
confusing and weird.
it
Oh,
makes
and
me
they're
curious to see
capable
if we're
building.
actually going to see any other
Advanced
Xeon
Xeon
type.
designs.
Right, because we got the Rickdom.
Yep,
That's
which
cool.
did exist in the war at the end when they were fighting. So that would have
Yeah.
existed. It's
Right.
the space version of the Dom. The Earth version was probably that with only 2 legs, because that would totally screw up the weight distribution and would just make it
Mm-hmm.
heavier for no reason. You could still lean the torso forward, bend the knees a little, and still get the hovering aspect with 2 legs. So that's clearly the
Yeah.
space version, and it's cool. But yeah,
And
I
it
don't
looks
know if
like
we're
it's
gonna get
a
any of
high
the advanced
maneuverability.
like weird shit. They didn't even make the Zeong, so
I
Mm,
have no idea. It'd
it
be
might.
interesting to see if they decide as a Xeon being something, watch it just be like the Psycho Gundam.
I
I
think the
mean,
Xeon will
maybe.
actually be the Nightingale. I think
They'll
when
just
we
skip
actually
to
get one, be the
Sazabi by the end of the
Nightingale.
show and give us their version of like the Sazabi and shit.
Yeah, they'll
No, because
call the
Sazabi was
Nightingale
like
the Sazabi.
0089, wasn't it?
Sazabi
Yes.
happens in the movie. Uh, excuse me,
Yeah.
the Shark's counterattack. He gets it
Yeah.
Yeah,
after.
0089, and then Unicorn is 0093.
No, Unicorn's 0090.
You
Yep.
sure?
Let's see.
I thought it was 93.
Unicorn is very
Well,
long. It just took forever.
we're not getting into that.
But I do think that the show is good, and I will say this: I think they will speed up the timeline basically because
You think they're gonna time jump?
look. Well, I don't mean
I
they're going
don't
to
think
time
so.
jump. I mean I believe they're
Oh, the
speeding
suit
up
production type thing.
the
Yeah,
suit production
because they
timeline. Be,
technically in this version they've
Oh,
had 6 years uninterrupted to build whatever they want. And the
yeah.
Gelgoog's experimental, military only. The Gquuuuuux is experimental, Gelgoog only, or military only. So it's like, it's interesting. The Rickdoms are technically old. They're 7 or 8 years old, close to a decade as far as design is concerned. So they're not new. So them losing makes sense. But it'll be interesting to see what those 6 years did. Like we haven't even seen other military suits technically because
not
Chalia
yet.
Bull
We've only seen military
only has
police.
this, and these are just the side, which are just repainted old ass Zaku's. That's all that is. The cops had. So I would want to
Yeah.
see what the true actual military gives to like people they like because they don't like Chalia, clearly. They're just appeasing him to get him out of the way. So I would love to see like
But
a
apparently
real
he's getting a new
knockdown drag
wife.
out fight between like what he said, the zombies. So actually have them garner forces and like start doing stuff. I kind of hope we move beyond the
Okay,
side at
okay.
some point.
So let's get into the plot for this episode real quick. So
Mhm.
because you mentioned something that I want to get into. Also, to signify that we're doing plot. Everybody,
Plot,
plot.
plot,
Okay,
plot,
you
plot.
guys. Oh, thank you, Paul.
You're welcome.
Yeah, for once I actually say thank you. Anyways, so this particular episode it takes place pretty much right after the end of the last one, like maybe a day or so
Yeah,
later.
they don't put much time
Um,
between the episodes. They're very clearly like whenever these fights get lined up, which is probably like a week or a few days, they're pretty fast. These
mhm.
aren't like months later, like a prize fight. These are underground kill fights. So, yeah,
Literally.
which they mention is
So
okay. It's just generally to win, all you have to do is hit the head. But if you really want to, you can go murder people.
I guess,
Apparently.
which of course Machu is not feeling too
She
great
doesn't
about.
do that yet. Give her
So
time.
yeah, and so they focus on her and how she is feeling regarding the fact that she ended up killing
She didn't.
somebody.
She didn't kill anyone. She stood by and watched
Well,
and felt it because new types feel when another new type dies and you're that close. You
right.
literally resonate with their death and get like a psychic echo. That's actually pretty consistent. That
Hmm.
happened in the original show. He wrote it into the book
Hmm.
series, and it happens in multiple other ones. The idea is new types are all kind of tuned into each other. And when one of them dies, especially if they're strong or there's a lot happening emotionally, they send out a shockwave that other new types feel, and the stronger you are, the farther away you can be when you feel it. Fun fact. In one of the books, he has one character have a full on conversation with someone who was nowhere near where they died. And it's like his, hey, I died. We're going to have a little closing talk. This is your closure type of thing. It was really cool.
Wow.
You should read the fucking
That
books.
is actually pretty
No, the
awesome.
books are amazing.
I need to find it because apparently they're not available
Oh
anymore.
no, they stopped printing them. It's in my house though. I'm pointing at it.
Yeah. But with that being said, so the I don't know all the characters' names yet, but it's the woman with the pink hair.
Uh,
That's part of the Pomeranians.
Ani.
you
She
mean
decides
Ani.
wait,
what's her
pink
name?
hair?
I think it's Ani or Annie or something like.
Yeah, I don't
The
remember
hacker
her
chick, the
name.
one I
Just
think
just
that's
say
in
the
the
only
rebellion.
girl in that sausage fest. The one who you guys think is a spy.
That's true. Anyways, I'm gonna call her the leader for
Let's call
now.
her the spy. We're gonna call it what it
So,
is.
anyways, the leader
I'll
of the
look up her name.
Pomeranians.
Technically, I don't think
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know if
probably
she's the
true.
leader. I think she's
Um,
just the boss.
She is the leader.
uh, well,
They
that
all
boss leader,
they
same
all
No,
thing.
I
answer
think the
to
So,
her.
boss is
anyways,
the leader is the
she
guy
They
decides.
who has
all
the
answer
dog.
to her.
That's why it's called Pomeranian.
God damn it.
Let's see.
But
So hey, Paul.
anyways, so
I just really wanted to interrupt Sean one more time.
you son of a bitch. God damn it. Anyways, so she goes to have a little chit chat with Machu, who, all right, originally I was concerned about this because of the way that people were portraying this online on
Yeah,
social
that's the
media,
internet.
because the internet is
Oh,
really horny.
heavily. I'm pretty
Um,
sure there was Rule 34 of the Gquuuuuux robot design before the show came out as a movie. I'm pretty sure that was already a thing.
I
Of
wouldn't be
just the
surprised
robot.
either.
Not like the robot
But
as armor, the robot.
yeah, so there's in this particular moment, there's Machu who not really in a bikini, but
Yes, she
she's
is.
like laying out
She's in
on
a
the
bikini.
roof of a building, and oh, all right, fine, she's in a bikini, and she is basically trying to get a suntan or just staring off into space while
She's
lying on the
chilling out,
roof.
communing with the light and the
Yeah,
sun.
because she's still like in shock,
Yeah,
pretty much,
she's not a soldier, so
and
watching people
the internet
die.
went
Not even.
haywire with that.
Yeah.
She's not even in
Yeah,
shock that. She's not even shocked that she died. She's shocked. She's questioning why did she die in front of her. That is
right.
literally it. It's not oh she died. No, it's why did she die in front of me? Like
Right, and
why
I'm
did
not
she want
focusing
to
on
die?
that right now. The thing that the internet seems to be focusing on is the fact
Um,
that she was in a
Yep.
bikini and that she has a little bit of a bigger chest. The problem with that, though, is the internet is basically pointing that out and then running away with it, and she's still technically a minor.
Oh no, she is.
Um, regardless of her being a fictional character, she's still a minor.
yeah.
So when people start pointing that out, it before I even watched the episode, I was a little disturbed by that because I'm like, come on, like it's not something that we need to hear or see, and I was a little perturbed by that until I watched the episode. The episode really doesn't focus on
Nope.
it all that much.
It's
It does it in a way where it's just
She's being
it's
a
basically
teenager.
panning the scenery a little bit.
Yeah.
It does focus on her for like maybe 10 seconds in a not a compromising position, but close enough.
It's
But it doesn't do it in a way where it's trying to make it sexual. It's doing it in a way where it's just basically pointing out she's just busy in thought the entire time, and she just so happens to be in a bikini on the
I would
roof.
argue that the leering
I'll go
camera
with that.
angles you can infer from, again, given the some of the studio
Yeah,
working on it and the style they're going with, they showed restraint, especially for anime, but the show is partly,
Especially for a Gundam anime.
yeah, actually for some
So
Gundams,
let's
but
let's be honest. All ever you see up until the 90s had nudity in every episode,
what?
in every
Oh,
season.
uh,
Every series had a
what
nude
was the
scene.
original shows?
Original show, there was multiple times of Fraubo and Mirai bathing the kids. You would always see
I
Fraubo
vaguely remember
and,
that in the
and
movie too.
Mirai
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mirai naked, and they were
but that's also not done in any kind of sexual way
no,
either. It's
it's
just
done
So
as
I
it's just
would
happening.
yeah, it's done as a piece of
a
it's
slice of life.
literally
It's
a
just part
slice
of
of
it.
life.
And
It's
nudity
literally a
is
slice
treated
of life. What's
differently in
going
different
on?
cultures and countries, though anime has a terrible track record with objectifying men, women, anything that is
Oh yeah.
horny. There's the horniness in anime is
Yeah,
something to be discussed. I would argue that this show, the way it's doing it for now, I don't like some of the camera angles. I do disagree that some of those camera angles were on purpose because
one of
when
them
you
I didn't
center
like.
frame
Yeah,
something and you basically jam the camera into the character, you're doing that for a reason. You could have zoomed it out to draw less attention. You're doing that on purpose, so they don't
Hmm.
get a pass for that.
Yeah.
However,
yeah.
I would say this show is there are multiple things when writing that you're tapping into. This show is pretty clearly tapping into, I think, drawing a line between the idea of new type awakening in humanity and drawing its own line with we're going to make the characters younger, and it's also going to be these are teenage characters going through the natural awakening that happens when humans are teenage. They've already shown Machu and Nyan both kind of have a bit of a crush on the guy who's
Oh, I
that's
completely
well,
forgot
they
about
wrote
that.
that
Good
into
lord.
not just this episode, but before now. They clearly made it look like the two of them kind of like blush when they're around him because they're having that first awakening of
I
attraction
thought
towards other people. And I think that's one of the
I thought
Yeah.
Neon had a thing for her, for Machu.
no.
I kept thinking that Neon had a
Oh
thing
no,
for
not at all.
Machu.
Not after this episode. It's very clear they both have a thing for the dude piloting the Red Gundam.
She
Like
freaking
100%. That's all that is.
she war banded him. She war banded him.
I don't know what that means.
I don't
That
either.
could you're gonna want
Oh
to
my god.
words?
I'm gonna. I'm no. I'm gonna strike that
Okay.
from the. We'll fix it in post.
Wow. Okay. Uh,
No, I'm okay. I'm talking about in the fight how she literally reaches
oh yeah,
over,
no, that
grabs the
Oh,
Gundam's
oh,
head,
no, no, no.
oh,
and
That
oh. We'll,
pulls
we'll
it
talk.
up.
that's
We'll
entirely
talk about that
no,
in
no,
a
no.
minute.
That's entirely
Yeah.
you're drawing a line that I mean, if you see that, fine. But I very much disagree with that being a line. That's entirely different. Being in the middle
Oh
of a
no, no, no.
fight and having an awakening of aggression and then fighting to win is not the same as this guy's cute and I have a crush on him. Those aren't. You can
Oh
have
no,
both.
no, no.
Right.
That's the
I
same.
Yeah.
don't think that.
Seriously.
I
Get your
don't think
get
that.
get.
I'm just saying she
You're just
war
trying to skip
banded
ahead,
him.
motherfucker.
She war banded him.
She did,
Like
and it
I
was
kept
really
thinking
funny.
that
And
like,
I actually really like. So what I really enjoyed in her story so far is they made her not be background anymore. I really
oh
like that
yes.
they literally locked up the main character
So
to be like, you don't
let's
get
back
to
up for
be
a
in
minute.
this. We're gonna let this person shine. That's actually really fun and
Let's back
interesting.
up for a minute. That way we can actually explain what happened there.
Okay,
So after Machu and the woman end up having their
still
talk,
think she's a spy. I
um,
agree with your assertion.
Hmm.
yes. So with that being said, we get some more information regarding about the Zabi family, and apparently there's even more infighting
Yep.
going on that we haven't really seen much of
Nope.
yet. But it looks like there's going to be another full-scale war soon,
Yes, which is
Yes, there
which
gonna
I
is in the
am
next
interested to
episode.
So
see.
that's going to mirror the plot line for Zeta, which was the power vacuum left after Xeon fell, and the Xeonic remnant drove the world into another power struggle between the Federation, Titans, and
Oh,
or the Titans and the AU, which is the Xeonic remnant forming, I believe, the Titans and the Federa or the other way
That's
around.
right.
I
Yeah.
don't remember because
I already
allegiances and
got
shit
it.
changed, but yeah. It's
I already got it.
oh,
Season one is gonna end with Cassilia running Neo Zeon
hmm.
and Garm and sorry, no, Girin
You think they're going to
create.
survive that long?
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that pretty sure that they are still gonna
Well,
survive,
the only dead
but
zombie
I'm
so far is still Dozel, so all the others are
yeah.
alive.
So I'm pretty sure that it's going to be Girin running the Xeon, uh, original Xeon,
Yep.
and Cassilia finally having enough of not being able to be in command and creating the Neo Xeon faction, and it's literally gonna end
Civil
there.
War. It's going to end with a civil
All
war
right.
between them.
So it's curious that you mentioned that. So you did mention Zeta with the Titans and the Ayuk. Do you consider the military police that were on that colony possibly Titans?
No,
They're
because they are
Titans
just the military
colors,
police who
but
work for one side, a side that is unaligned with Xeon. So it's essentially a third party country.
Hmm.
It's
Okay.
you're basically dealing with a sovereign nation that chooses not to be a part of the big, huge everyone group, but still actively trades
Hmm.
with them, does deals with them, clearly gets spare military hardware from them, and is allowed its own level of autonomy because they're so far out at the edges that policing them would be pointless. They're like, look, we don't give a shit. Just do whatever you want. We don't have time for you because we can barely handle all the crap we got in the war. We can barely handle that. And then on top of
Hmm.
that, you have internal power struggles between all of the zombies who were always kind of at odds. Um, and as much as as much as I love the best headshot in all of Gundam, and Cassilia is a zombie. Cassilia actually, the way that I've seen multiple versions of her, she kind of is probably the one zombie you actually want in charge. Like, yes, she essentially did human cloning, experimentation, and turning people into weapons. However, she's basically a scientist at heart, driven to explore the edge of human evolution and stuff. That's essentially what Cassilia is. So if I had to pick a zombie to put in charge who isn't going to run it all into the ground or be weird, it would be her, especially because humans are turning into new types, whether you like it or not. Machu and Yan both awakened in a robot designed for new types who already know that they're new types, not to turn into one. So humans just are new types if they're born in space far enough forward genetically. So, with that being a thing, if Cassilia doesn't die off screen somewhere or they don't have her murdered by an assassin, I could see her forming a new type faction, probably calling it Neo Zeon or whatever, and essentially being like, this is the true vision and actually purely aligning herself with the values of the original Zeon Zoom Daikun, which would also explain why in this version she knew who Char was and didn't give a fuck. She didn't. I
yeah,
don't know if in the original she even any of them knew who he was. I don't think she
she
did.
knew.
She knew in
She
the
knew.
original because she was also the
She knew.
information
Dozel
officer.
knew. She knew. Dozel knew. A
Giran didn't.
lot
He
of
would have
them
fucking
actually.
killed him.
Girin didn't because he didn't care.
Oh,
He
interesting.
didn't
Because he
care.
was useful as Char, so he's like, you serve a purpose. I don't give a fuck about your
It
backstory.
wasn't even that. It wasn't even that. Girin is okay. Girin does not have time to focus on someone lower than
So it's
him.
not that he didn't care; it's because he was too absorbed doing other things.
Yeah, Girin didn't care and didn't know, and I'm pretty sure if he wanted to know, he would have found out
Okay.
because it was the worst kept secret throughout all of Xeon.
Oh yeah, even in Jaburo, people are like, "Oh, that's who's Shar? Oh shit, Artesia? Oh shit, Castfall."
Okay, you know what?
So
I'm gonna
Yeah.
be the only reason why Garma didn't know is because he's so freaking self-involved that he didn't give two shits at
Oh yeah, yeah.
Char's shitty ass
Garma was just
as
a
explanation.
dumb, spoiled, noble, rich asshole. Um,
oh yeah.
That's really all he was in the original. It will be interesting because they keep name dropping Makuve, whose name is French, and I'm sure I'm doing that wrong. But
No,
No,
you're
it's
right.
they
Makuve.
Yeah.
keep name dropping him, which makes me think they might actually write him in as someone with actual real power in the new Xeon runs everything world. So you might be
Hmm.
looking at part of the end of season one or even into season two might be very political. Like the political storyline might be all of the factions maneuvering and leading into another, not 1 year war, but another mass battle where they wind up lining up forces and like attacking each other, and everyone is like even more depleted at the end of it.
It's gonna be a Xeon Civil War.
Oh,
It's
there's going to
literally
be
gonna be a
because you can't have
Xeon
the
Civil
zombies
War.
all be alive because they're is their dad still alive?
Dix? No, he's dead.
Did they say
He
he
died
died?
like right at the beginning.
Did they
Oh wait,
say he
no,
died?
he dies after Garma's death.
Yeah, and if
But they
Garma's
never
not
said if
Oh,
he
dead,
that's right.
died
if Garma didn't
in the
die and they
show.
only name drop the death of Dozel, is he still alive in this version?
It's
Because if he's
possible.
Possible.
alive, he is the iron-fisted ruler above all of them. They can have their infighting, but he tells them all to essentially shut up, children, and then he's still in charge. If they haven't killed him yet,
No,
that might be the big
he.
inciting incident to the Civil War. It might be his
Oh,
death, and then the power vacuum.
yes.
All of them stand up and go, "I want to be in charge," and then they all point guns at each other.
Oh man, I
Man, there's
freaking
so much
see it.
speculation going
Because they
on.
haven't given
I
us enough.
freaking
God
see
damn it!
it. I freaking see it. Like halfway through this season, literally he dies, and it's Giran and Cassilia fighting over who has more influence and
Right?
power
And
throughout all of
that's a
Xeon,
but that's a
and
real
boom.
question. Which one of them has more? Because at this point, after the war, no battles to win, no glory to get. It's been 6 years. People have moved on. Now it's a question of,
And
how
Cass-
many jobs have you generated? What have you done to the places you wiped out on Earth? Do they still hate you? Whose residual resentment can she feed on to point at Giran and say, yeah, I'm a zombie too, but I also hate my brother. And if you put me in charge, I care more about like science and all this other shit. I will help you improve. I'll give you running water and food and all this other stuff, which is literally how you incite a resurrection or incite a. Oh my God.
Revolution.
There you go. One of those. Giving people
Oh, I'm
food and
pretty
water
sure.
can convince them to go to war if they're desperate enough.
Oh please!
So,
Everyone knows that Cassilia is gonna literally say that Giran set up an assassination plot to kill their father,
I mean, he
and
probably
that's
did. I
why
think they mentioned it in the original
he
that
did.
he tried to kill his dad
He
multiple
did that.
times.
He did kill his
Oh
dad
yeah, he
at the end.
did. He acted.
He
He
did
he
kill his
successfully
dad.
murdered him.
He, sh-
Yeah.
I think he literally set up like the convoy for his father's shuttle was flying through a an Earth Federation like battlefield.
Yep. And then he
Like
just friendly
it was
fired
like
him.
yeah, it's like oh yeah,
Oh
I'm
boy.
gonna make sure
always
your
with the
ass
friendly
dies.
fire.
It's
Ah.
But
it's
before we get into
always
more speculation, let's finish up the plot on this
Yeah.
episode.
Sorry about that. This show just has a
So,
lot of what ifs that
no,
could be really cool.
no, it's good conversation. Trust me, because the fact that we're generating this much when we've only like 5 episodes
Right.
in,
all right.
that's insane.
Oh. God, I can't wait to actually see what they
um,
do.
Mm-hmm.
so after their conversation, after we learn about the infighting between the zombies currently, we cut back to Nyan and Machu. They are getting food and they want to go visit the Red Gundam pilot. Is his name Shino?
I don't
Yeah,
remember. I don't know their names that well.
yeah, it's Shino.
I know Nyan
All right, I
because
only know
I'm
Machu
she's
and
looking at
Nyan
cat.
and Chalia.
Yeah, I just know
I'm
Yeah,
Nyan,
looking at their
Chalia,
team.
and then the name of the robot,
and
and then
Machu.
Machu, and that's it.
Um,
And that's her nickname. It's not actually her name.
yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
Amelie.
something like that. I
Oh.
don't remember. She mentions that
No,
she went with a childhood nickname, and then she's embarrassed about it.
yeah, and is it this episode or is it the last episode where her mom like basically yells at her for?
Uh, so she's at odds with her mother because she didn't fill out. She didn't take seriously the career placement thing. She wrote something
She
stupid.
wants to be a jellyfish.
That's what she
She
wrote.
wanted to be a
She wanted to be a
jellyfish.
jellyfish, which her mom got mad at. You know what I would have said? I would have looked at him and been like, you ever try painting, writing, any sort of artistic endeavor? Because when your answer to my future career is name of an animal, you either want to do something with those animals in like marine whatever, or you're an artist who sees a question and just answers so off to the side. You're like, you should probably make stuff. That you should probably be an artist because that's the kind of
Oh,
like Salvador Dali response sort of thing.
Well, it's interesting because then we go into the next moment where they finally do meet up with the Red Gundam pilot,
Shuji.
and
Shuji.
they
There
Shuji.
it is.
There we go.
That's his name.
Shuji.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So they meet up with him and they are fawning over his art.
Yep.
And she tries to explain to him what Kira Kira means. Will, I would be surprised if you're still angry about it
Well,
anymore.
it's fine because they didn't. this is okay. This show.
It's an actual
So
thing
this
now.
show,
They're
yeah, this
defining
well,
it.
one that two. She mentions that it was an awkward way of her just trying to. It's essentially, I've
Trying to
never
explain
seen
it.
this thing before. I don't know what to call it. It's also that the struggle inside your brain when you experience something and you have to describe it, but it involved emotion. You have trouble
Mm-hmm.
describing emotion because, as far as we can tell, the two parts of our brains that think logically and descriptively, and the part of our brain that does emotion, are literally separated. Not completely, because they're both your brain, unless you go through a very specific surgery to solve certain issues. But the reason you can't literally
Mm-hmm.
describe what an emotion is because an emotion is nebulous, and the part of your brain that does this chair is red, it is made of wood, it is tall, is completely separated from the part of your brain that experiences and deals with emotion. So you can't describe it. You come up with a bunch of approximations, which arguably are never actually there. So she's trying to describe the experience of the whole new type awakening, and all she can come up with is what she saw because it was so overwhelming. That's all her brain could do is go, sparkly, pretty, and then just kind of she's dazed when it's happening and then it's gone because there's so many layers to what she's experiencing. She's literally seeing without using her eyes. She's feeling everything around her. She's now felt someone die. She physically, maybe, or like psychically, she feels really, really close to Shuji when she does it because they're both new types. But she can also
Mm-hmm.
sense other people, and they can like sense and feel intention, like when they make the DOMs purple to show like their negative intention towards the main cast when they're not new types, so they don't feel any of this. She can feel it and
Hmm.
sense where they are, even though her sensors are gone at that moment, so she's effectively blind because they overload the camera and it crashes. And she's like, "Oh no, I know exactly where they are," because that's a new type thing, because she's sensing the person inside the robot. She's not actually sensing the robot. I just realized you can kill a new type with an actual robot because they can't feel it. Huh.
Mm,
Well, I just realized the Achilles heel of all new types is literally just don't put a human in
well.
it.
The one thing I didn't realize that you would be going into all of a sudden, oh, everything makes
Yeah,
sense.
it's just the turrets from Aperture Science. Yeah, new types couldn't see them coming. Shit.
Ah, fuck. Uh, anyways, so they're talking with Shuji, and Shuji is. You can already tell that something is off about him with this particular episode compared to the other ones. And Neon, the first thing that she does is she wants to get down to his level and basically strips down to also
Yep.
underwear. And then Machu, realizing, oh, I'm a little jealous, I'm in competing mode, I'm gonna do the
Yep.
same thing. Uh, but then they just immediately go like, so what are we gonna do about the fight? And then they transition to the next scene where they're walking away. Shuji's still with his Gundam, but they're walking away, and all of a sudden there is it Xeon or is it military
Military
police? I don't remember.
police.
Xeon.
It
Um,
no.
oh, that's right,
It's
that's
the
right.
military police.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
It's
sorry.
sorry.
just
Yeah,
colony.
military
Well, we
police
call them
first.
military. It's the colony police. They call them military police, but it's just the cops of the colony who work for the colony, who are looking actively for
Right.
people involved in A, the Gundam fights, and B, really, really heavily searching for that red Gundam. They're probably.
They're also looking for refugees,
Oh, that's a
apparently.
racism thing.
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
I was
pull
like,
total
they
fascism
pull
there.
Neon because of the way she looks, because physically I'm going to go off on a limb and say that most of the people who lived in this colony are of a specific descent from some group of people on Earth because they were probably major corporations and countries involved. So they moved like 500
Hmm.
people from Russia or like 2,000 people from Russia as the starting population and then just let it naturally go from
Hmm.
there or whatever. Point is, because of that, they have, again, they're also on the outskirts. So they probably don't have a lot of like coming in, going out of people. So this population has probably been kind of static. And because of the war, tons of people would have been displaced, like in any war. So they
mm-hmm.
call anyone who doesn't look that way there. I would go out on a limb and say that they are, because this is written by the Japanese, like people from Japan. They might be leaning into Mugen from Samurai Champloo. He's from Roppongi, the Ryukyu Islands.
Mm-hmm.
The Ryukyu Islands are part of a native population who were there, I think, before the people. They were like an Aboriginal population who had been there for a really long time before the main population you know as the Japanese showed up, and they had darker skin. Same thing, I think, with Okinawa. They are there's a like a bloodline type thing there where genetically they are slightly different to indicate that they also look different because they lived there so long and they are not they're like the say original, but just they were there longer, so they physically changed to match the
Mm.
area. And the big marker is usually things like skin tone. um, Japanese people are known for having light skin. People from certain areas, especially back in like 16th century 15th century, had darker skin tones indicating they were quote unquote different. And then there's probably a whole history of
Nice.
being racist because that's how humans work. Insert any version of that from around now, even where people are mad. And there's a whole conversation to be had about war refugees, but they've shown the police here to be incredibly heavy-handed, iron-fisted. Episode 1, where they show the colony, they are literally ripping roofs off and nearly killing people in the street because they don't think they're people. They don't care. They're poor, they're war refugees. They see them as less than because they're not from here being this specific side.
Yep.
So Nian probably looks like she's not from there either because of how she dresses, her skin tone, her height. I don't know. I don't know the culture because they haven't bothered to explain any of that. But they tag her as a refugee and then go immediately into racist asshole mode and just start being shitty. And Machu's response is
Yep.
even better than Camille's. Would one of you like to take the...
Oh, kick him in the fucking nuts.
That man collapsed. I'm pretty sure he's only got one of what used to be two. Oh, yeah, that was also
like
not the
super
solution to the situation. Nian was essentially being like, "Don't do anything; they'll be shitty, and then they'll go away." And Machu's like, "No," just soccer punted him.
Oh,
This is why Machi's a good character.
but
Um,
this entire
So
that entire
fucking
time they were
funny.
being investigated, the
Oh.
original pilot of the Gquuuuuux
Oh yeah, that
was checking Machu out because he
his
recognized
brain
her and was
recognized her,
trying to
but he
figure out
couldn't
if she
figure out
was.
if she's the one currently piloting it or if he just saw her in the hallway and she like if he doesn't know how related she is, so he winds up saving her from them and then holding her in place while they hide from the military police, and then they both watch the fight. And he's like, "Well, this will answer all my questions because if I see the robot and the robot is using its psychoactive mode, then obviously it's not her, the psychomo
Psychomo.
system, then obviously it's not her," which is entirely incorrect for other reasons that we will get into when we get to that part. But
Mhm.
yeah, essentially he is having that I know you, but I don't remember why I know you. To be fair, I'm going to go out on a limb and say the amount of head trauma he has suffered in the last 3 weeks has been enough to probably scramble his brain a little. They've shown him getting punched in the face
Probably.
so many times. I don't know why they let him walk around the colony.
Oh,
He should be getting a CAT scan and laying the fuck down. Or walking
oh, I
around?
do have
I
one
don't
thing I
know.
want to say. I do have one thing I want to say.
What do you
Trigger
want to
did an
say?
amazing job at doing the art and the
Is this
music.
Trigger?
That laundromat scene, I think it's
I
Trigger.
don't remember.
I don't know
No,
who.
There
it's
you go.
Kara.
Oh, sorry. All I'm saying is that
Son of a bitch.
I'm sorry. They literally look like Trigger characters.
They do.
They
the
are.
law.
It's practically the
Yeah, it's
same
not that
thing.
different.
Okay, so I'm sorry, but
Considering that Trigger split
Yeah.
off from Gynax to form
Yeah.
their own thing. Yeah.
Kara also is
but
part of that.
that entire laundromat scene, gorgeous. The animation was gorgeous, and the music choice was so freaking good. I vibed out to that little snip there.
The one thing that Kara and Trigger both seem to have in common is that they know how to perfect style,
Oh,
and they do it very
yeah.
well.
When they want something to feel good and not just look good, they nail that.
Yeah, like
Exactly.
I could literally have
Hmm.
them sitting at like the laundromat, kicking their legs back and forth as literally like a live lo-fi pod thing.
Oh
and
yeah, 100%. The soundtrack
it
to this
would
show is
be
going to be
We'll
real
talk about the-
solid.
beautiful.
We'll talk about the credits
Beautiful.
once we get to the end of the
No,
episode.
that wasn't the credits.
Um,
That was mid-episode.
No. it's something that I want to talk about.
Okay.
So before we do that though, so we're trying to finish up the plot because I want to talk about Metabots.
Okay.
Meta what?
Motherfucker. So
Meta where?
Machu runs away, Nian runs away, but they run in separate directions. Machu's basically causing a distraction, that way Nian can get away.
Or vice versa.
But the fight is about ready to be scheduled, and if they end up missing the fight, then they're going to end up having to pay some fines.
So if you apparently if you don't have both of your pilots or both of your suits show up, you immediately are disqualified without even starting. You would insta lose, and that would be bad.
Yeah, and also with the fines.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, you don't get any of the prize money, which
they're like, oh, we'll be bankrupt if we don't, if they don't show up. I'm like,
yep.
So Machu is trying to hide, or she's running away when suddenly the original Gquuuuuux pilot grabs her and then takes her into a locker, and they both hide out in the locker. And he's basically just staring at her the entire time, like, "Hey, I just saved you." But
it's very clear that he doesn't do any social situations. He comes off as the kind of person. Well, they also show him dealing with other people really badly, because he's pretty much a child, like, science experiment. So he's probably a teenager, and at best he's had a few interactions over the years with, like, adults in the military who are there mostly just because they have to be. So he doesn't know, like, social graces at all. He's basically useless outside of pilot big robot. So it's just him getting, like, punched in the face. He needs a handler. He's being very stubborn about it, and Chalia Bull is okay with him essentially learning the hard way that, like, there's a way to do things, and I know how to get us what we need. I'm doing all this on purpose, and he's like, no, I must go off and be a hot-blooded main character. That's his problem. He thinks he's the main character. His name isn't Amuro. Sit the fuck down.
Okay, I will say this much. How big is that freaking locker, or how small
Oh,
is
it's
he?
huge.
The fact
that locker's massive. You could fit, like, a full floor-length prom gown in there. Damn, that thing he was standing up and he didn't touch the top.
Yeah, and he's over her, but at points it literally looks like you can put another person between the two of them.
Yeah, no, you could.
That being said, they're both really skinny.
Well, okay, yes, they are, but I mean, but even still, that even with perspective and all that, they're in no way, like, mashed together. They're comfortably standing with space between them. So.
And enough space for her to do the teenager arm folding, I don't care, I don't like you movement.
Look off to the side.
Yeah. The eye roll. The fact that her base expression is, I don't fucking care, is actually kind of funny. I love it.
Well, okay, so she does that until he pulls out the phone and goes like, so, are you the pilot?
And then she just completely falls apart. She's like, a pilot of what? I don't know that word.
Yeah, and then he pulls out the phone. He basically puts on the video for the
feed
fight
for the fight,
and he's fully expecting it to be canceled. Then all of a sudden, you see that the fight's starting, and who's in the Gquuuuuux?
Haro.
Yeah, Haro.
Always Haro.
You're both right, but also shut the fuck up, Paul.
I want the final episode to just be the suit ejecting the main character, going off on a suicide mission, and Haro just saying, Haro, sacrifice! And it just flies off and saves everyone.
I want Haro to have, like, a complete sentence with full sentience, being like,
just
Haro
starts talking like normal. Oh, you know what would be fun?
It was like, we are Haro.
No, man. Just either have Shuji die, and then, like, Shuji possesses the Haro, or have Char get downloaded into the Haro, and just him shit-talking all of them and being like, I could do better than that, and just, like, trashing them the entire show.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if that actually happens.
God, I would love to see that. It'd be so fucking
funny. All I
see
is the Gquuuuuux transforming into a Haro with arms and legs. Final,
the true final form. It gets its final armor.
So just a side tangent on that real quick. In the SD Gundam mobile game that I've been playing, I unlocked a giant Haro mobile armor. It is fucking huge.
Oh, I love it. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I love Haro. I love a Haro.
Same here. I want to get a Haro model kit.
I think I have one or two. They've done cool ones over the years.
So here's another side thing. A long time ago in high school, when I was super obsessed with Gundam, I was writing a story called Mobway, which basically stood for mobile weaponry. and the idea was basically it was like Gundam meets Legend of Dragoon, and everybody
So
would have
I
their
waifu
own
armor girls. Got it.
sort of. Everyone would have their own kind of like Haro unit,
Hmm.
and they would basically expand and turn into armor that they would then apply, like tokusatsu or fucking like Mega Man
So
style.
I don't know why you're
and they
saying
would
this
end
is
up becoming
past tense. I would play that right now.
Yeah.
right.
I would play that game
So
right
that-
now.
That was a story that I had initially drafted out like 9 fucking volumes for
I
when I
could
was in high
see
school.
that as a solid side story, honestly, for like a Gundam thing. That's very on brand for them. They would have that come
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
to just sell pure like toys, and if it got big enough, it would get like a 5-minute anime TV or
I
some
might
shit.
just cut this part out from the podcast so I can start
Let's
reworking
let's
it.
not give Bondi too many ideas. They're doing fine. Got to keep some for us.
Although, you know what? Once it's listed on the air and everybody actually sees the published date, it's mine then. Anyways.
It's Bandai. They'll probably do it and only release it in Japan and won't give
Well,
a shit if you do
I
it over
mean,
here.
you can't do it with actual Gundam. They can do it with
Oh.
actual Gundam. You'd have to rework everything to make it original, so you don't get
Well,
copyright.
like I said, I
When
wouldn't
does
make
that
it
Gundam
Gundam. I
tabletop
wouldn't even
game
call it a
come out?
Haro.
This
When
year
does a Gundam
should be in like a
tabletop-
month or
okay.
two, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, it was just called Mobway. It had
That's
nothing
cool.
to do with Gundam. It just borrowed aspects to it.
Yeah. I mean, hey,
Um,
inspired by fucking Pokemon is just Ultraman, so
God, don't you fucking dare.
I'm not being
Uh,
weird. I'm quoting the creators of Pokemon.
We will talk about that later in Toku for 2. But anyways, so Nyan gets into the Gquuuuuux, and she does not know how to pilot.
Yes, she does. She does the
she's
exact same
freaking out
thing the
the-
other character does. I don't like that they say they're good pilots. They're not. They have a cheat code. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
Most people have to
Oh,
learn
you
how to
mean the
pilot
fact that Haru unlocked the Saikamu?
No, actually,
Yeah,
it doesn't.
yes,
The Haro,
he does.
Haro.
Yes, it does. It does. It literally.
It does.
literally says unlocking. Haro
It
unlocking.
only
yeah.
unlocks after she's in the mobile suit enough that she taps into her new typey thing. It literally only works if you are a new type. It doesn't make you a new type. It only unlocks when you are a new type.
Well, I didn't say that. Didn't say that she became a new type. Just saying that she already motherfucker.
Yes, she already was
Haru
one.
still unlocked the Saikamu
Yes, but
system.
that's not how it.
It
It's not.
always
You're
does.
doing the chicken and the egg thing. The egg is
I
her
didn't say
being
mother-
a new
God damn
type,
it.
not Haro doing everything for her. That's not how that worked.
No,
He
she
still
was freaking
unlocked the
about to
system. It
break
doesn't
the
matter.
console.
Yes.
She was about to break.
Can you
those-
stop saying that word?
What?
What?
Oh,
She
I
was
just
about.
wanted you to shut up.
She was about to freaking break that console. Literally.
Yes,
how
and that
hard
would
she
have
was
been
gripping
really
the
funny.
controls.
But I mean, she was going to die anyway, so I mean, what the hell? I like
I
I
actually
like the
her
differences
piloting
between
style.
her and Machu. It's actually really nice.
Yeah.
It's a complete 180 in her
Oh, I
personality.
fucking love it. She's awesome.
She was piloting like Mikazuki.
So
Yes.
she at first was freaking out the entire time.
Mhm.
Then once Haru helps unlock the system,
No, that's
So I
not.
can
I need
be
to go
more
back and
specific.
rewatch this episode. I think we're misrepresenting this.
no, man. If I got Paul on my side, that means
No.
he actually paid attention.
Well, yes, he did, but that
Haro
doesn't mean that
unlocked-
both of you are correct. I will dig my heels
Haro
in here and go
unlocked
back and rewatch. I think she got desperate, unlocked her new typey thing, and Haro went, "Oh, you're ready," and essentially like a kitchen timer went ding, and then turned on the Gundam for her because now she can use it.
still resolves to
Okay.
the same thing.
No, it
Alright, I'm
doesn't.
gonna
There's
say
a
this.
difference.
I'm gonna. Okay, I'm gonna say this. I believe that Haro detected that she was about to unlock her new type potential,
Yep, which is what
and
it's referred to
assisted
as.
by her new type potential, and then unlocked the Saikamu
Yep.
so that it
She could talk to it.
maximize it.
Yep.
Or we can go with the entire, which is my personal belief. Haru activated the Saikamu because it didn't want to get blown the fuck up.
Nah,
That's also possible too.
I
but
prefer
no,
the first
I'm pretty
option.
sure it's the first thing. Yeah.
because that also makes
Anyways,
more
now that we're
sense
all
in
on the
the
same
character.
fucking page, god damn it.
Which one is it? Page 42 or 41? I get lost in our script.
Motherfucker, read Project 2025.
No, this
Anyways,
entire thing is scripted. We're cutting that from the show.
Yes, we are definitely cutting that.
Cutting that from
There
the
is
show.
no-
I can't go to jail right now, jackass.
Yeah, I don't need to get blacklisted, bro.
No,
You're
we're
not
good.
allowed to bring up that.
It's not that type of show. We're just talking about
Yeah.
space Nazis, okay?
Yeah.
My bad, my bad. Anyways,
No, we're talking about
anyways,
space fascists. Watch your
No,
language,
no,
bro.
they
Watch
were
your language.
that this show is
No.
based off of space Nazis. Uh, Come on, man, they have Prussian helmets for no
I don't.
space
goddamn
I
reason.
don't
Nazis.
need to
One
give.
of us is an asshole. Anyways,
I don't need to
That's
give
um,
him any
definitely
more
Sean.
leverage.
I mean, you're probably right, but anyways, so she is now fully tapped
Yep.
in, and she does a complete 180 on her personality, and she is basically almost in a berserker rage until she slightly comes back to it, but then goes completely back to the 180 again, and then she grabs Shuji, who we now know is basically
He has a fever.
Sick.
sick
Yeah,
from the
he
flu.
he has
Yeah.
he caught a flu probably from not eating food because he's
And
basically
just
dying
laying in
of
his bed.
Yeah,
starvation and like never he
yeah,
spends all of his money not on food, so his immune
Buying
system
yeah.
is
paint.
shit, and buying paint. So all he does is breathe in paint
He's
fumes.
probably huffing paint like Charlie,
Yeah,
Charlie Day.
he's sitting there asking you about who mailed the goddamn letters, but the point is,
Hey man, you ever seen any ghouls around here?
he winds up having a fever and is essentially delirious for the entire fight and is like
Oh
half.
yeah,
He doesn't know what's going on. He's just there. And as
yeah,
Paul said, she war bandits the fuck out of him. Grabs him by the
yep.
head and just human
Twice.
shields him, and even the other team is like, "Dude, what the fuck?"
But what's
Oh
interesting is
god.
that using him as a human shield, literally, he has a shield
Yeah.
equipped.
Yeah.
It's the
Yep.
standard one that you
Yep.
would get with the RX-782, and it still works
She wields
perfectly.
him instead of like, and then the way she takes the sword at the end from him and just proceeds to one shot both of the enemy suits is really good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
the fucking
it
fight
was
is
cool.
amazing.
Except for the fact that she fucking murdered them.
No, it's
Oh,
fine.
okay.
They don't show you her backstory. I think she's
Did, she
essentially
references it.
she's got a lot more going on. I think she is a refugee, and I think she's experienced a lot worse shit than Machu, which is going to draw more of a line between them, showing you the two sides. Machu has spent the
What?
last 6 years being raised by someone who experienced the war but not experiencing it at all, and Nyan has done nothing but experience the fallout from the war as a child. So they're both two different versions of person who grow up post-war.
Okay.
So it's funny that you mentioned that.
During the
The
beginning of
final.
her fight, when she gets in the suit and exits the space station,
Mhm.
she actually references to her childhood, saying,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm back in space."
Yeah, I'm back in space, meaning she's experienced it before. And when she talked about flying to Earth,
Oh,
space
and
for
she
her
also
is really
says
normal.
that she's not cold. Yeah, she
Yeah.
also says I'm not cold this time.
Yeah.
So,
But
Will, to backtrack real quick, the thing that you mentioned about the line dividing between her and Macho.
Yep. Oh, next
Um,
episode's gonna be
they
good.
end up doing the final moment
Hmm.
where she ends up coming out from the
Mhm.
hangar, and you see her walking out with Haro, and she's still in her. I want to say it's a plug suit. It's not.
It's
the plug
basically
suit.
that.
It's
The
the fucking-
design is heavily inspired
It
by
looks like a plug
the
suit.
plug
Yeah.
suit design leaned
Clearly.
into the suit design, but I mean they've always
Yeah,
kind of been that way.
Mhm.
So
it's definitely leaning on the Ava.
yeah, with the bright
rendition there.
colors, like it's all pink and white and
Yeah.
stuff, and super styly looking. It's too
Yeah.
pretty to be
So
military
she
grade.
comes out there, and Machu's already freaking out, like, who the hell was in
I love
my
how
suit?
mad she is.
And then when
She has personal ownership over
she's
this. So fucking
fucking
mad.
But it's also because they got to pilot with
Yes,
Shuji,
she's jealous.
and she only wants to have that as her connection.
She wants
when
that as their
suddenly
thing.
she realizes it's Nian,
And she just
and
gets
Nian,
confused.
like everything else, just yep, and then credits.
I know. The
And
next
then-
episode just going to be them
No,
like
no.
moody and awkward around each other like teenagers.
You missed
Well,
it.
you got that,
missed
but-
it. You missed it.
What?
You missed a big thing.
What?
Shalia Bull saying
Oh.
that he wants to reach out to the his Xeon faction and have the second unit sent over.
Oh yeah, he did say that. Yep.
Oh yeah.
He mentioned
Yeah.
so he said a name, but I couldn't tell if he was talking about a suit or a unit. But like
It's
I don't know what
sounds
he
like
was
a-
saying. Was he mentioning like a military unit?
I think he was talking about a suit. Cause
I
it
thought
looked
he
like it
meant.
was
I thought he
time
meant
to go.
like an actual unit, but we'll see.
Given how shows like this
but-
go, probably a robot, but who knows? He might have been asking for his personal unit, like his actual
True.
unit, because he clearly doesn't have it, or he would have just flown out there, slapped the children on their heads, and said, "Stop playing and get on the boat."
Mhm.
So then we get the credits. Now the credits have already been playing in the last few episodes, but this time I actually paid attention to it.
God damn. 5 episodes in, the fuck are
Well,
credits?
well, it's because the music is
Mhm.
good, but then I'm like, I really am only into it just to see the preview for the next
Uh-huh.
episode. I really like these credits.
Right.
The credit sequence is really cool.
So slice of
Um,
lifey.
it is, and then it's interesting how they're doing this compared to what we got as the actual ending of the episode. So I'm wondering what exactly is going to happen, because obviously you can't take credit sequences for for being
They're
canon
just
in any
there
way,
for
because a lot of
fun,
time
generally.
when it's usually just for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I am interested to see if they actually do manage to put any of that into play. As for the preview, I really am excited for the preview. The preview that we got is basically saying, oh, now we're going to have other people going after the Red Gundam because they found out where it's being stored.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're probably going to finally go to Earth.
I think we're finally
No,
going
the
to have
episode's Castilian.
everything erupt, and it's not going to be the monster of the week is the wrong word. I think they're going to break the formula they've settled into, and they're going to be like, all right, you've had your, holding the wall of the pool. Time for you to let go and go swim in the deep end. And they're going to have, like, everything's going to explode. So the white base is going to have to leave the side. They're going to be chasing after the Gquuuuuux, the Pomeranians. Everything's going to come to a head, and they're all going to have to make split decisions, which drives everyone into space. And then the show's going to go from there.
I'm excited for that. I'm really excited. Everything is just being thrown out, and I'm like, oh my god.
Oh,
this is a really
we
good
don't
show.
have a masked
This is a
character
really,
yet.
really
Wait, what
good
the
show.
fuck?
It's gonna
What?
be Soluble.
He's not masked. You have to be masked at the start
He
so that the
will be
audience doesn't
masked.
know what you look like.
He won't be masked. It'll be somebody completely
Ooh.
different. There's no
You think
way.
he's going to call for a masked person, and that's who he called in?
No.
Watch it be fucking Amuro Ray.
Oh my
No,
god!
it's gonna be
Yes!
It's gonna be Soluble.
It won't be Shalia. Shalia's already been set in stone as his own thing with the, cock
Dad.
infatuation.
He is dad.
No,
Char,
He is
but-
clearly a
it's gonna
dad.
be Soluble. The new suit is gonna be Shalia's suit, and it's gonna be Soluble putting on the mask so he can pretend that he isn't the dude going out there. The same way.
Ooh, that way he
that the
can.
dude-
Oh yeah. That way he's not Xeon.
way
He's
that
a
the
third
dude-
party.
Yeah. Same way that the dude in Iron Blood Orphans did in the first season, where he got his friend fucked up and killed.
That was
Or-
fucked
Oh
up.
yeah, no, Iron Blood Orphans is
attempted
messed
to
up.
kill his best friend.
IBO is
But-
messed up, man.
It's gonna.
I just remember how I just watched season 1. I am gonna rewatch it and fully pay attention, but I definitely remember that scene.
Yeah,
Holy
he screwed
fuck,
that
that
guy
was messed
over
up.
real bad. I feel bad for that
Oh,
guy.
man.
He basically, like, when you say he
But
took
any
his
final
life,
thoughts on Gquuuuuux
he
before we go
took
get into
his
Metabots?
life.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go, Meta.
All right.
Okay, so.
So, Metabots. All right.
The show is
Guys.
over. We're not watching any more episodes. Nah. There is
am
no
not
season
watching the
3
next
because
season.
Paul will quit if we watch it.
Well, we are gonna watch season 3, but I guess if Paul's not gonna be a part of it, then he's just a little bitch. But anyways.
Oh, what?